What's up, everybody, and welcome to ITG Daily, the show that brings you the hottest in gaming news. I'm Drew Bosley. You can find me on Twitter at ArtisticGamer28, and that's the one, the only. It is Scott Savage. You can find him on Twitter. That's Savage. Scott, what's going on, buddy?
You know, I want you to try the snake voice for me just once. You got a little bit of a scratch in the back.
I got a scratch in the back because I got COVID is what's going on. It's been a bit of a rough couple of days, but we're powering through it. But we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about ITG Daily, where we bring you the hottest in gaming news. Scott, people can join us live at 11 a.m. Eastern, usually Monday to Friday, unless I'm out sick. And you can catch us over on twitch.tv/theofficial ITG, as well as YouTube at ITG. But if you can't join us live, hit us up later inside the game.ca podcast services, TV streaming networks around the globe. Scott, coming up on today's show. Call of Duty had a showcase yesterday, dude, and it was massive. It was full of all kinds of multiplayer details that we'll be covering today, as well as Kojima. Kojima himself is back, teasing once again. Man, this guy just never ends, does he? He's working on a VR game now, so we'll see what all that's about. And there's a demo. Man, demos are making a huge return, but there's a demo out today as well. Then you definitely want to check that out, and we'll talk about that. But Scott, seeing I'm all a little under the weather, you are going to lead the show today, so let's get going, and you can kick it off, my friend.
You know, Kojima in the news again. I feel like the poor guy can't leave his house without going on the headlines somewhere.
Absolutely.
And it gets millions of people excited, for better or for worse.
Fair enough.
Before we get there, this is hot off the press. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 multiplayer revealed. And we have a little bit of a recap here by Stephanie Ninelli. And there's a lot to recap here, so let's take it easy. I'm going to attempt to brush through most of it here. But
dude, I'm gonna sit back and put my feet up. You go.
There is a lot of information here. Now, there may be some things I missed just due to the volume. So bear with me. We have Activision and Infinity Ward has showed off the multiplayer portion of Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 ahead of the open beta, which kicks off on PlayStation already. Okay, there's a big detail for you. One multiplayer feature that developers showed off was swimming and aquatic combat. Okay. Instead of dying when hitting the water, like in previous games, now action occurs above, on, and in the water. Various elements will be present, such as currents and waves, and the water can be clean, could be murky, polluted, or have debris. It seems to be just a full environment down there, which is quite a big step up.
Yeah, it's got a big step on that, Scott. Then just got to highlight, this is going to jump in here real quick. They said that there's actually a bit of a haze too. So further in the distance, dude, it's not going to be crystal clear the entire way through, right? You got your little area that you're in the water, and if it's murky, it is murky way in the distance, and you're not going to see what's over there. So yeah, big time jump in the water physics and everything else behind it when it comes to the Call of Duty, which is really, really cool.
Yeah, no, they keep finding ways to expand it until they expand the entire battlefield. But that might just be my thoughts towards this. In the open beta, maps with water will showcase these enhancements. You can use the water as stealth or an escape mechanism. You can even change your stance or sprint and look down to plunge underwater, so you have full control there. If you fire underwater using sidearms and certain equipment, your weapon's projectile will be affected by the increased density, so you may need to change your aim. Yeah, for those who don't know, do not fire a weapon underground, or underwater, that is. It's terribly destructive to yourself. You will also need to pay special attention to tactical items, and you may need to try out all new strategies when attacking boats, enemies under the water surface, or when you're avoiding or deploying an explosive. I'm picturing a lot of commando work in this. You know, I am very excited for this new Call of Duty. The multiplayer portion of Modern Warfare 2 also features additional traversal mechanics. For instance, you can slide or dive to the floor, or even use a ledge hang, which allows you to peek from a mantle and look around. This is a big step here. So we've seen in the past the dive, what's called as the dolphin dive. I'm happy to see anything like that return, because I find it's just everything is a little blocky about Call of Duty lately. The ledge hang will allow you to pull out a pistol and engage enemies from a ledge. I keep referring this to other games. That reminds me a lot of Splinter Cell Conviction, where I think I played most of the game hanging from a ledge.
Yeah, absolutely.
Multiplayer will now feature more action-oriented maneuvers onto new vehicles. Expect a variety of tactical advancements, including the ability to lean out of windows and shoot or mantle onto a car roof, destroy various sections on vehicles, or even blow out tires. Huge amount of detail there. You can employ mobile, ground, air, and water vehicles, depending on the game map and mode. 9 of them are land-based and range from a hatchback car to a heavy tank. All-terrain vehicles have made a return, and there are new utility terrain vehicles, tactical vehicles, SUVs, cargo truck returns. There are armored tanks, armored personnel carriers. They are going the full catalog on you. If you would like to fly, there's the light helicopter, as well as a new heavy chopper that functions a little bit like an airborne cargo truck. Armored patrol boat, inflatable boats, both of which have 50 cal machine guns mounted on top. I'm picturing this Call of Duty playing a lot like Battlefield, Modern Combat 2 way back in the day. If anybody remembers that one.
Dude, you kind of go like, okay, here we go again, right? Another Call of Duty. Every year is another Call of Duty. This year has really seemed to like elevate everything though to that next level. You kind of wonder what Infinity Ward or just the Call of Duty franchise can do to iterate to make something new and fresh and exciting. And it really seems that they have stepped this up. Now, granted, at the end of the day, for me watching, especially they had yesterday's event, they had 200 plus streamers there. So you had like Ninja, you had Tim the Tatman, Dr. Lupo, you had the biggest names in streaming, right? They were all there at the event. And I'm watching them, dude. It is so fast. It is still, at the end of the day, it is still Call of Duty, and it is still way too fast for me. But there are some other game modes that I think I'm going to be able to jump into and play. And dude, the highlight for me yesterday was finding out that they are actually going to introduce third-person mode.
Yeah, that's the biggest. That's the one I read that was like, okay, that's a little bit strange for Call of Duty.
I'm so down, though. I'm so down for that, man.
Yeah, it seems like you prefer the third person, eh?
Absolutely. I'm a much more third-person perspective player than a first-person. First-person in the past has actually even made me like a little woozy, kind of almost like VR does, how VR movement can bring in that motion sickness. Some games, like Call of Duty, because it is so fast, I get that motion sickness kind of feeling. But if I can get able to go third-person, then that just changes everything.
Yeah, it changes up your perspective. That makes sense. I'm used to Titanfall at lightning speed, perhaps faster than Call of Duty, so it's a bit of a strange concept to me. But at the same time, well, you do move lightning fast. That's the constant throughout all these games. Yeah. They've talked about a lot of different equipment being added. A drill charge that goes through the building and then launches a grenade onto the other side. We've seen that before. And a DDoS. This allows you to know if there's equipment or enemy vehicles in the vicinity. I'm just trying to skip through them here because there are many. The most interesting that I've seen mentioned so far, an inflatable polymer dummy. So picture Metal Gear Solid 5. You throw out that little tablet and it makes we used to call that Hollow Duke back in the day. I like the idea of that. That's silly. So there's a whole lot of enhancements to gunsmith, weapon customization, and the like. I think you're correct. It's safe to say that they've taken every little aspect and kind of blown it up.
Yeah, they've changed everything, like really everything. Like there's so many things you can customize now with your weapons. Now, I'm not the biggest Call of Duty guy ever. It's really on Corey, yourself, Nate, and Adam is in there as far as our Call of Duty gurus. But for me, I get in, I dabble, and then I kind of watch from the distance as everybody keeps talking about it. For me, it's all about the campaign. I cannot wait for the campaign. Campaign is on October 28th. And then Warzone 2.0, which was a big deal yesterday as well, will be coming 2 weeks after when that launches. It's Scott, they're just like, there's so much coming down the pipeline. And this really seems to iterate that Call of Duty is not going anywhere. Call of Duty is only getting bigger, and they're looking towards the future and where they can bring it next. And they even touched on it yesterday. Dude, there's going to be a Call of Duty raid for the first time.
Oh, that's interesting.
Isn't it? Like I was like, wow, really? You guys are bringing a raid? Okay, well, I'm down to try that. And then the new mode they touched on as well is DMZ. So that one there it reminds me of the Dark Zone from the Division 2.
Yeah.
Or in Division 1. For that matter.
I think that may have been teased a while ago, and we're trying to make sense of that.
Yeah, absolutely. So for me, there's a lot of stuff that I think will allow me to get into Call of Duty where I haven't been able to in the past, because it's just been multiplayer mode after multiplayer mode and just things that are just way too fast for me. I will jump into Warzone 2.0 and get wrecked like always. But then there's other, like the DMZ mode definitely has my interest a lot. Actually, the raid sounds very interesting to me, and everything they just elevate everything to that next level, and got to give it to them, man.
There's talk of battle maps that have up to 32 versus 32 people. So we're crossing the line into that Battlefield light experience.
Yeah.
But
No.
then again,
Very cool.
Battlefield left a big old hole in the room to fill, so this could be good for everybody, really.
There's the size of a crater they left.
Yeah. Oh, I'm seeing here that the raids are 3-player cooperative engagements.
Which is awesome.
So that's cool to think of. Yeah, I really like the idea of that.
Let me ask you about this though. 3 players, Scott, versus 4. How do you feel about that? Right? Right?
Oh man, yeah.
Thanks, Apex.
Was it Apex that made that change? I think it was Apex that kind of popularized it. That was
pretty much.
Yeah, it's too bad. I'm often that 4th player that's being omitted now, so we'll see how that goes. We do have Kojima in the news, of course.
Let's go.
Every time that man peeks out of his blinds, somebody snaps a picture and throws it up. But this specifically is Kojima teasing a VR recreation of the old Kojima Productions hallway. A bit of a niche experience here, because I have not seen that hallway.
Nope.
This comes from Rich Stanton at PC Gamer. They had originally published something and they've gone back and issued corrections here. So he goes to say, correction. We officially reported that Kojima was teasing a new VR game, but it turns out that's not the case. This article has been updated. Kojima is busy. Here's Death Stranding 2, another unknown game, The Odd Book, his new podcast, and now a VR experience that he's showing off at Tokyo Game Show this weekend. Yeah, you thought you were busy. Based on a tweet about an in-progress VR something, we initially reported that Kojima was teasing a new VR game. As it turns out, that's not precisely the case. A few days ago, Kojima said that Kojima Productions will not be exhibiting any games at Tokyo Game Show. The VR project is actually, quote, a VR experience, end quote, which recreates the famous entrance hallway to Kojima Productions HQ, which the company preserved digitally after moving offices. You know, I like that. There's a little bit of an edge there, the metaverse, where it could definitely experience itself as just kind of preserving places in history, but that's an aside. So that was a false alarm. What we do know about 2 other games likely in progress at Kojima Productions. Death Stranding's lead actor, Norman Reedus, simply blurted out that a sequel existed in May. Yeah, that was a strange story.
That was weird, man.
Responding to a question about the game with, quote, we just started the second one, end quote. Oh, I bet a lot of face palms happened that moment. Kojima responded to this by telling Reedus to, quote, go to his private room, end quote. An in-joke about his character in the game. Then there was a recent announcement of a partnership with Xbox, where Kojima talked a lot about cloud technology. This is, again, mysterious. Quote, yes, there is a game I've always wanted to make, end quote, Kojima said during June's Xbox and Bethesda showcase. Goes on to say, quote, it's a completely new game, one that no one has ever experienced or seen. I've waited very long for the day when I could finally start to create it, end quote. Just as always, the man is blanketed in mystery. And this Xbox project, what could that be? The fact that it's cloud-based and technology is only now where it needs to be, that brings a whole lot of other questions. That doesn't reveal much.
It doesn't reveal anything. Kojima is always so mysterious that everything's kind of left in the air. You really don't know which way to go, right? A lot of speculation of what he's working on. Dude, I guarantee you they've got some kind of VR game in development. Brad joins us over on Twitch and says, Kojima looking out a window, we're in VR looking out a VR window. Yeah, very, very strange, right? Yeah.
And the media goes wild.
Well, that's just...
Sometimes I wonder if he's really in progress with all this stuff, or if he's just playing to the kind of mystery that surrounds him. I would be doing that for sure.
Absolutely.
I'm a little bit of a troublemaker that way.
So we do know, obviously, that Death Stranding 2 is in development. We'll see how that one goes.
I have not played enough of the first one to know where the door is open for a sequel. Now, I'm inviting spoilers by saying this, and I'm not certain I would even understand the spoilers if they are explained to me. So
sure, no, that's fair.
Hopefully that makes sense. What kind of changes are they going to add, though? Will I get a motorcycle off the beginning and keep it for a short time. Where do you go from there?
Yeah, no, I don't know. I'm more interested, honestly, in what the partnership is with Xbox and what that looks like, right? Using the cloud technology and giving him the ability to. Well, we saw some unique gameplay mechanics within the world of Death Stranding. That if someone built a ladder, that ladder would stay there and allow you to traverse over top of that piece of landscape, right? And it brought other opportunities for people to collaborate to traverse the world, which is super exciting to see. Now, when you give that to a mastermind like Kojima for his next project, what does that look like? How does he incorporate social media? Because he's going to in some form or another. So there's just a lot about it. Maybe he's in an abandoned. Brad, you're such a
No, I called it. I think abandoned has been abandoned long ago.
Right? Yeah,
thrown in the blue box where it just
where
it will remain.
I'm definitely excited to see where he's lining up with Xbox and what that looks like. When will we see more details, actual concrete details on that? And then I think once we get Death Stranding 2 out there, and then we see whatever they're working on with Xbox, I think that's when they follow up with some kind of VR title. And I guarantee it's something similar to like PT in VR.
I'm hoping for that horror slant.
Oh, I'm sure it will be. It absolutely will be. It's just not for me.
Well, we can move on to something a little bit more your speed here, your flavor. A time-limited Wulong Fallen Dynasty demo launches as of today. I believe that may reference yesterday there.
Yeah.
Players can sample Team Ninja's upcoming action game until September 26th. This comes from Jordan Midler at VGC. A time-limited Wulong Fallen Dynasty demo is being released. The demo for Team Ninja's upcoming action game will be available from September 16th at 4 a.m. PT, 12 p.m. BST. And this runs until September 26th at 12 a.m. PT, 8 a.m. BST. I'm not sure how that translates for us being in Eastern time zone.
No, I'll look into that while you keep talking.
I used to be pretty good at that stuff back in school. Announced during publisher Koei Tecmo's Tokyo Game Show live stream on Friday, the demo will include online multiplayer, the character creator, and in-game abilities including vertical exploration and the importance of morale. I like the idea of putting a character creator out there first. It gives you the time to really sit down and do it.
I love a character creator. It's available right now. It's 7 a.m. Eastern time. So yeah, it's available right now, which I looked for it already, and I did not see it on PlayStation 5. So I'm gonna have to look again because I'm jumping in.
Have you tried turning it off and back on again?
That's the worst thing ever. But yeah, I hear that works too. Yeah.
Well, as a bonus, anybody who clears the demo will earn a special Crouching Dragon helmet item, which can be equipped and used in the main game upon release. A survey will also be made available via the demo in order to collect player feedback and help with the further development of the game. Those who participate in the survey will receive an original wallpaper.
Cool.
Interesting.
Brad wants to know, he's a serious question, but is this going to be another Souls-like game? I think it will be to some extent, Brad. I don't think it's going to be a Souls heavy game, but I think it does have some mechanics that will make it a little bit more challenging than your average adventure game per se.
Well, if they could have the Souls-like kind of combat experience, but just don't throw you into boss fight after boss fight after boss fight. That's kind of what makes it so punishing.
Yeah, dude, I'm surprised to see that this has a demo because I honestly don't think it needs a demo. I think there's enough hype behind it. But hey, if they want to give us a demo so we can get hands on, take a look, is this game for you? Now, Brad, you can go and take a look, right? You can go and find out, will this game kind of line up to your play style? Was this something you're going to want to invest in when the day comes when it launches? Because what I've seen so far has me really excited to check it out and I want to get in on the combat and stuff. But yeah, it looks super cool. Dude, I can't wait.
I'm going to quickly run through this one here because I'm not certain how much time we have actually. But
we got 5 minutes.
Xbox remains open to further acquisitions as it strives to be a major player.
Dude.
As if they aren't already. Anyways,
right?
This comes from the desk of Tom Ivan at BGC. Microsoft's head of gaming, amazing title by the way, has said the company is open to making further acquisitions as it looks to turn Xbox into, quote, a major player, quote, in the industry. I think that's been true for 20 years. In a CNBC interview, Xbox boss, ex-boss, Phil Spencer, was asked whether Microsoft intends to press pause on acquisitive work while it awaits regulatory approval to complete its, that was a word sandwich, complete its planned $68.7 billion merger with Activision Blizzard. Quote, "This is such a competitive market. I don't think we get to press pause on anything," Spencer responded. Tencent is the largest gaming company on the planet today, and they continue to heavily invest in gaming content and game creators. Sony is a larger business than we are in gaming today, and they continue to invest. When you look at the investments that we've made, it's a highly, highly competitive market. He continues to say, "We strive to be a major player here. We want to deliver great content for our players, and we're going to remain active, whether that's investing in our internal teams that are already building great games that people know and love, whether it's building new partnerships." Spencer was speaking from Japan, where he's currently attending Tokyo Game Show. So the through line of this is that they're not planning to stop the giant acquisitions, and it seems like I'm reading a little bit of a saltiness, a little bit of an attitude in these words here. Well, and perhaps that's just my own interpretation, but the way a little bit of whinging. Tencent's the real big guys. Sony's pretty big too. It's kind of deflecting in the face of this complaint. People are complaining that Microsoft is buying up things, leading to a monopoly of sorts. And there may be some real value to that. That is a correct statement, but at the same time, that's the name of the game.
Well, at the end of the day, though, like PlayStation's complaining that Call of Duty deal isn't good enough for them right now either, but yet they're bigger than Xbox. Like, it's funny how one is arguing over the other, yet one's leading over top of the other. But yet, because they're now looking at acquiring Activision Blizzard, people are getting sour, and it's just, man, oh man. But who do they buy next? Like, can you imagine that they swept in and bought Square Enix? Or how about even Ubisoft? Dude, Ubisoft right now, I feel, is in a lot of trouble. There's a lot of backlash going over there. There's a lot of people leaving studios. There's a lot going on over in the realm of Ubisoft that isn't going well. So I'm curious to see where the future of Ubisoft holds. I'm excited for their Assassin's Creed games that are coming. Mirage, as far as I'm concerned, looks amazing. I cannot wait to get into that one.
I'm really excited for that. And Red,
me too. Yes, absolutely. But Scott, we do have one whole game out today. What do we have, buddy?
We have Various Daylife, and that's available on the PlayStation 4.
That's just it. One title for the end off the week. It's a little it's a Square Enix title. I didn't realize that. But,
oh, okay. I haven't seen any of this one myself.
I don't know. We'll have to maybe check it out. But until then, everybody, thank you so much for hanging out with us. This has been ITG Daily, the show that brings you all the hottest in gaming news. You can always join us live at 11 a.m. Eastern or on twitch.tv/theofficial ITG, as well as YouTube at ITG. But if you can't join us live, hit us up later. InsideTheGame.ca podcast services and TV streaming networks around the globe. Until Monday, everybody, I'm Drew. That's Scott. We'll see you inside the game.